Hello, I'm David Kerr. You're watching Shalom World News. Here are your latest news headlines from around the globe. The process that could see the parents of Pope St. John Paul II declared blessed has got underway in Poland. The cause of beatification for Emilia and Karol Wojtyła Sr. was officially inaugurated last week in Wadowice, the southern Polish city where the couple lived for much of their married life. It's also where their son Karol Wojtyła, later Pope John Paul II, was born in May 1920. The first session of the beatification process was held in the city's Basilica of the Presentation of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Following that ceremony, Holy Mass was offered by Archbishop Marek Jędraszewski of Kracow. Emilia and Karol Wojtyła Sr. were married in Kracow in 1906. They had 3 children, Edmund, Olga and Karol Jr. The children's mother died, however, when young Karol was only 9 years old. Later in life, Pope John Paul II would often recall the powerful youthful influence of seeing his father kneeling in prayer each evening. Karol Wojtyła Sr. died in 1941. The bishops of the United States are calling upon the US government to enforce obscenity laws that they say will protect victims of exploitation and human trafficking from the pornography industry. In a letter written to the US Department of Justice, the bishops also call for more criminal investigations of pornography producers and pornographic website owners. It is thought that the current COVID-19 lockdown, with many people confined to their home, has seen a significant spike in demand for online pornography. The US bishops point out that pornography leads to the objectification of our fellow brothers and sisters in ways that exploits them and damages their health. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump is urging all Americans to pray to God for strength and solace during the present COVID-19 pandemic. The president issued his plea during a National Day of Prayer, which he hosted at the White House in Washington, D.C. on Thursday of last week. He told those gathered how the American people, throughout their history, have always called upon the gift of faith, the blessing of belief, the power of prayer, and the eternal glory of God when faced with challenging times. Also in attendance at the event were First Lady Melania Trump, Vice President Mike Pence, alongside many religious leaders. President Trump also prayed for those families who've lost loved ones to COVID-19 in recent months. It's been announced that public masses are to resume in Italy from next week onwards. Across the Italian peninsula, masses have been suspended for the past 2 months. Now, however, a protocol has been signed between the Italian government and the president of the Italian Bishops' Conference, Cardinal Gualtiero Bassetti, that will facilitate the reopening of Holy Mass in a way that protects public health. The protocol outlines strict social distancing and sanitation measures that will be applied to all masses and other services, including weddings, funerals and baptisms. The guidelines insist upon the wearing of face masks and states that those present at Mass should maintain a 1 metre distance between themselves and fellow worshippers. So far in Italy, nearly 30,000 people have died due to the coronavirus outbreak. Meanwhile, the bishops of England and Wales have expressed disappointment after the UK government said that churches across the United Kingdom should remain closed until at least the 4th of July. The bishops issued their statement on Monday after the British government set out its plans to ease the nationwide lockdown imposed due to the coronavirus pandemic. The bishops say that the government's statement fails to recognise the profound sensitivities and spiritual needs involved in reopening churches. The bishops had put forward detailed plans that would have allowed churches to reopen initially for private prayer as a stepping stone towards the resumption of public masses. The Primate of All Ireland believes that the coronavirus pandemic has brought many people closer to God. Archbishop Eamon Martin of Armagh says that the forced seclusion and restricted personal freedoms of lockdown have reminded many people that we are not in control of everything and are in fact very dependent on both others and on God. The Archbishop made his comments during Sunday Mass at St Patrick's Cathedral in Armagh. He added that many people were also drawing closer to God after realising that their lives are unsatisfying at a deeper level. Finally, Archbishop Mark Coleridge of Brisbane has been re-elected President of the Australian Catholic Bishops' Conference. Archbishop Coleridge won the backing of his fellow prelates during a virtual gathering of the Bishops' Conference this week, with the meeting being hosted online due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Archbishop Coleridge has served as President of the Bishops' Conference since 2018. He'll now continue to serve in that post for another 2 years. His deputy, Archbishop Anthony Fisher of Sydney, was also re-elected. Well, that's all for now. Do join me next time on Shalom World News. Until then, may God bless you. Shalom.